narrative designer at Dambuster Studios. In Homefront: The Revolution, players take on the role of a resistance fighter working to liberate Philadelphia from a brutal North Korean occupation. In this video, we'll take a look at the tools and tactics that you'll need to master in order to engage a superior enemy in gritty urban guerrilla warfare and come out alive. Homefront: The Revolution aims to keep players engrossed in the experience. This intro cutscene is a little cheat, to introduce players to the world and establish the mission objectives. But in the final game, all of our story sequences will happen in the world through the first-person camera and with full freedom of movement. Go, go, go! The young woman calling the shots on this op is Dana Moore, a senior fighter within our resistance cell. We're on a mission to capture a KPA data transceiver, but there's an unexpected patrol between us and the objective. Time for an ambush.
Okay, new plan. We're ambushing this patrol. Brady, best if you go with G-Man. Just do what he says.
Come on, buddy, this way. And yeah, try not to die.
This mission takes place in one of our red zones. War-torn neighborhoods on the outskirts of the city, ruined by fighting and left to rot. The KPA has declared these areas off-limits with a strict shoot-on-sight policy. Fortunately, we can shoot back. By hitting up on the D-pad, I can customize my weapon on the fly, and I'm going to attach a red dot sight and foregrip before kicking off this ambush. The players can choose whatever they want depending on the situation and their own playstyle. I'm going to flip on the flashlight to provide a little extra illumination. We have a full day-night cycle as well as a dynamic weather system. It may be dark and stormy now, but if we tried this mission at another time, conditions might be completely different. And I'm going to scavenge some supplies from these lockers that might come in handy later. Oh, and I'm going to turn off the flashlight so I don't give away my position before the ambush.
You can spring the trap if you want, Brady. You pull that lever, and down they go.
I just have it.
The Resistance has pre-placed some barrel traps around this neighborhood, and they're extremely useful for creating ambush situations like this. Keep an eye on the rooftops for them. Well, that worked out nicely. Now all that's left to do is hop down and mop up the survivors. Shit, we've been spotted by a seeker drone. The game has an escalating response system. Creating chaos and getting spotted calls in seekers and reinforcements. If they're not dealt with quickly, they might summon an airship. And if the airship catches you in its spotlight, a whole world of hurt will come down on you. More soldiers, armored vehicles, combat drones. So in situations like this, the best choice is actually to run away. And it's okay to run. Unlike other shooters, being a guerrilla fighter means you're not an unstoppable army of one. You have to plan your attacks, strike hard and fast, and then disappear rather than engage enemies head-on. Asymmetric warfare is about the weak versus the strong, David versus Goliath. We took some damage back there, so let's take this opportunity to heal ourselves. There's no hiding behind cover to regenerate hit points here. You'll have to find or buy health kits to stay in fighting shape.
Okay, I'm sending Brady to join you. Me, Lenny, and G-Man will follow up. Just stay out of trouble. Brady, Isaac needs backup fast. There's a bike in that shipping container over there.
Sounds like one of our other teams is in trouble, so we're back on mission. There are resistance supply caches hidden throughout the city, which you can find by looking for the same symbol on the side of the shipping container. Some have ammo or health, but this one contains the all-new motorbike. You can also look for bike stashes on the minimap. More of them will appear after we've captured the transceiver, so let's plot a course there. And we'll grab a couple more crafting ingredients before heading out. The motorbike is a great way to get around the red zone quickly, or escape from enemy patrols. We were inspired by the Trial series of arcade games. We loved the springy suspension and the go-anywhere mentality, so the neighborhood offers all sorts of opportunities to take the bike up into buildings and onto rooftops. It's all about player freedom. If you can see a way there, odds are you can drive there. There's a patrol blocking the way to our teammates, so we've ditched the bike and we're going to dig into our guerrilla toolkit. The GTK, as we call it, is a suite of items you can use in a variety of situations. I'm going to bring up the weapon wheel with the left bumper. Okay, so we've got hacking devices, distractions like a handful of firecrackers, explosives, and incendiaries. Let's use the ingredients we found to replace the Molotov we used earlier. But this situation calls for high explosives. So there are also 4 deployment methods: thrown, which is the pipe bomb; remote, which is this IED proximity, which we're not showing yet; and the RC car, which I'm going to use now to keep some distance between me and this patrol. The RC car is great for driving up on unsuspecting enemies, but if they see it coming, they'll shoot it or me. So we're going to sneak under this truck and... Now that the way forward is clear, switch to the shotgun, and we're going to push up to our teammates if they're even still alive.
Stay back! Sniper!
There's that sniper and another seeker. I've got just the tool for this job, the hacking device. Throwing this near the seeker will flip it from hostile to friendly, and it will attack any enemies in the area. Hacking devices work on more than just seekers, so experiment using them against other enemies and see what happens. I want to take a second to upgrade my weapon again, but this time I want to do a total conversion. Using blueprints found throughout the world, you'll discover new and more powerful weapon upgrades. In this case, we're going to take the entire barrel off the shotgun and attach a homemade thing that, well, we'll see what it does in just a second. See that other resistance fighters have run into a group of KPA troops and are engaged in a street battle beneath us. Your fellow fighters operate on their own in the red zones, and anytime one group runs into the other, a dynamic and unscripted firefight breaks out that the player can choose to engage with or ignore. In this case, we're going to press on to the objective.
Brady's trying to sneak it!
Oh yeah, remember that shotgun I converted a minute ago?
One hell of a debut. Counting on this.
Sometimes you gotta fight dirty, right? Finish off the last of the enemies guarding the transceiver. Back into it. And success. We can see new stashes and activities appearing on the minimap. Additionally, claiming this and other strike points will change the environment around the player. It's not suddenly free from enemy patrols, but it is easier for the resistance to operate there. That means more resistance fighters on the streets, but you'll also start to see more pro-resistance posters and graffiti sprayed over the official KPA warnings. Over time, we'll even inspire the civilians to rise up and join me in the fight to break the North Korean stranglehold on the city. So get out there, attack the enemy, improvise your escape, take strike points, or simply find your own fun. Remember your guerrilla training, and long live the revolution.